What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Life Insurance Telesales Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Nitafan, and we got Austin Mitchell as your co-host. What is going on, dude?
What's up, bro? Happy to be here, back for another episode, ready to bring
We're
some value
back,
to
baby. We're back. Just got the fresh cut. So feeling good, feeling ready. Just got some push-ups in, ready to rock and roll. In this video, guys, or in this episode, we're gonna be talking about should you buy leads weekly? We get a lot of agents to ask this question, and we want to answer it, but there's so much more than just going into this specific topic, right? That we really want to go deep into. But before we do that, bro, what are some wins we got, bro?
wins for today, dude. We let's see, dude. It's already 1:30, dude. I can't even keep track, dude. I've been doing so many tasks today. Dude, we got multiple appointments booked on our board. Helped out a few agents. We broke down a few calls, helped them work through some of the objections they were getting at the start of the call. Obviously got the workout in, and yeah, multiple other things, but that's just a few to start with.
Let's go.
Dude,
Love
man,
it,
what
dude.
wins you got?
Dude, went to the gym, um, and just pounded some weight, bro. Just like getting mean on the bench press and incline. I was debating, like, dude, it's interesting. I've been trying to test out different times that it's best at the gym, and like at 5 a.m., bro, it is popping. Like 5 and then 5:30 comes around, and it's like so many people are in there, dude. So I went at 7 today to try to because I meet with like this men's group on two Thursday mornings, and we just meet at like a coffee shop, and so we did that, and then I go to the gym after that, and at 7 it was like perfect, like everybody just left, so that was nice. But of course, when I'm trying to like incline bench, there's people there, and so I'm like, dude, really? So get to the first set of dumbbells and on incline, and then I saw one open up, so I was like, you know what, I'm just go grab that. So yeah, bro, just on this like 5 day split of working out. Guys, if you aren't working out, work out. I mean, this is what's cool is one of the agents that we're coaching, he typed in the chat like we post like wins, personal, business, whatever it is. He's like, dude, I woke up and went to the gym. And I think like it builds confidence. Like that's what I've seen is like getting in the gym, it helps build confidence. It helps like really get me ready for the day and ready to go attack a great day. I mean, that's how I feel.
Elevates
Working
the
out always
mindset,
makes me feel good.
gets blood flowing, man. It's all around a positive thing. Like you don't get done hitting a workout and be like, dude, today's gonna be awful. You just it's hard to have that, man. Hard to have that.
Yeah, for sure. So dude, let's get right into this, right? So should agents buy leads? And we're talking about life insurance agents specifically, right? So should life insurance agents buy leads? I think both of us can agree with the short answer, right? It's yes. But there's so many reasons why it's really important for you to go and buy leads. What are you seeing some important things for agents to do? Like why is it important to buy leads every week?
Dude, especially if you're new, one of one of my favorite sayings is like working from a place of abundance
Yeah.
and not scarcity. And so whenever you're if you're not buying leads weekly, if you don't have that weekly lead flow, you don't have a abundance of leads, whenever you face an objection or somebody tells you to screw off or whatever that is,
Yeah.
really it makes it's a lot more mentally taxing if you don't have two, three, 400 other leads sitting there in a CRM for you to get ready to call. So
Yeah. I mean it's gone. I mean, it's huge for me. Like getting in the rhythm of like having consistent leads coming in, and being able to work new, brand new, fresh, exclusive leads that are like it just got me excited. I think when you're trying to sell life insurance, you got to make it fun, you got to make it exciting, and you got to have I mean people that actually want to sell life insurance. Sometimes it's down when you start dialing age leads and you're getting hit with so many different objections. It can be challenging. And so getting new people that are like just filled out an ad, just bought life insurance, I mean, or want to buy life insurance and they're really, really seeking the information. One, it makes your job easier. And then two, like it allows you to, it like helps me work harder, even if I'm not only just working new leads, knowing that there are fresh people that just came in I got to go resolve.
yeah. Yeah, it helps out mindset, but ultimately what we're trying to achieve is the financial gain. from buying new leads. And if you guys aren't having fresh, exclusive leads like every single week that are brand new, that you guys can exhaust and get resolve on,
Yeah.
it makes it hard, man. It makes it hard. If you're just trying to squeeze the juice out of every single lead you get, you're gonna fall behind.
Yeah. And it's like it's tough at first, right? Because you don't have a lot. And one I'm already hearing this, right? I'm already hearing people saying, "What if I don't get my investment back?" What are you saying to them?
Dude, it's a tough question. I think it's different for every agent, right? And their situation. I think it's good to come into the business with the mindset that you might not get your initial lead investment back.
Yeah.
And so, coming in with a couple weeks worth of lead spend is super important. Just because that first week, man, it's such a learning curve.
Yeah.
Even the second week. But you should be able to, if you're doing the right training, if you have the right mentors and you're really buckling down, you should be able to find a few laydowns within that first week or second week and make your money back
Yeah,
for
you should
sure.
be able to like consistently have new people coming in. And I mean you're gonna get those laydowns. And my mindset's like, okay, if I spend $1,000 a week or $1,500 a week, with for quality people, I mean I should be able to close at least two, at least, right? And so I think that was my mindset is like, okay, if I can get profitable in the first like day or two, or if I can get profitable my first week of the month, right? So April's coming up. If I can really hammer down and get like right away, that first week I just focus on getting all my lead spend covered for the month, right? So if I made say $10,000 for the month and I go out and spend that, or I go out and spend $5,000 for the month on leads, um I know that I'm going to be able to eat. I know I'm going to be able to have 3 weeks full of profit, which is awesome. Because then you're at that point, like you worked 1 week to get 3 weeks worth of free leads, and so then at that point you just cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, and then also you got to go back to your old leads. You got to go back to the leads you didn't resolve.
Yep.
So I mean that's my mindset when I get consistent lead flow, for sure.
Yeah, man. And another thing on top of that, like this industry has changed. Like we have a lot more tools and resources to
Yeah.
help you be profitable on lead investments. I mean, the dialers that we use and being able to create power lists, call multiple leads at once, it's a massive, massive, massive tool to be able to touch base on those old leads. We have guys that are making leads on or making sales on leads that are, 15, 20, 22 days old that they probably would have never got touched if they were hand dialing on the phone, just because they have such a big lead flow. Um, and so being able to utilize a tool like that to touch base on those old leads is super important.
Yeah, it's really, really, really important. Like if you guys have bought leads in the past, if you guys have bought leads consistently, right? One of the things that I really want to emphasize to you guys, that if you don't have money to buy new leads this week, is go back through your old leads. I mean, I was talking with an agency owner doing multi seven figures a year, close to eight figures actually. He's on pace to do eight figures this year, in his insurance business and agency. And a lot of their sales come from 70 to 90-day old leads. I mean, that's just the reality. There's people that they are calling. So if you're coming into the business and you don't have money, first of all, like I recommend for a new agent coming in should have $3,000 to $5,000 saved up. I mean, that's just baseline. Um, it'll allow you to have the abundance mindset that we're talking about. But then if you don't have the money, I mean, I would ask your upline or mentor or whoever's helping you out, hey, can I get some, can I use some of your leads and maybe split you 50-50 on them? And
Yeah.
I think like that's a good sign of a mentor, is being able to even offer that and having foresight of solving those problems. And because if they're not doing that, or they don't have a reason why they're not doing that, I think they're not thinking of the agent's success completely, because we've always done that. That's something that we've always done, is like when we were like recruiting and bringing agents in, we always offered that. Hey, if you want to call my old leads, that's the best place to start. You're going to get tons of objections on age leads. You're going to get that. And all of a sudden you start making some sales, and all that money that you use, like take that and use it towards your leads.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's super important. And it really is. I mean, not everybody is in like an ideal situation, but ideally coming into the business, man, having a month's worth of ad spend or, lead costs already covered, it puts you at a place of like peace. Like you're not working from, a place of scarcity. Man, I got to make at least, $1,000, to make my money back, and then I got to worry about how I'm going to eat this week, and so on and so forth. To be honest, for a lot of those guys, like maybe it's your not your time to join the business. Like,
Yeah.
work that job, man. Pick up some second jobs, like do some Uber Eats, some DoorDash, whatever it is. Like, build up a little bit of cash flow and then jump in. Like your experience is going to be a lot better. You're probably, your success rate is probably going to be a lot higher, the probability of it. Um, because it does, man. It sucks. It sucks whenever you see people like this. Isn't a lot of the reason why we do what we do is we're tired of seeing people come into the business. They're not doing the right training. They're not getting the right information. They don't have enough lead spend. And so once they buy those leads, and if they don't have the training and platforms and mentorship behind those, they don't execute. And then they think the insurance industry was the problem, when in reality it was the people that they're around and their own work ethic. Um, so being able to have a stack of cash, a bankroll, just to fund your business for at least a month gives you a lot of time to push through that learning curve, get the hang of
Yeah.
things, make a profit, and turn it around.
Yeah, you got to have
But
some forethought if you want to see success, because the reality is it's going to take it's I was actually talking to a new guy, and he's not an insurance agent, but this is his first time in a sales job. And him and I were talking because he's like, dude, I know you coach agents, but like I'm getting into the sales. Like, what are some tips, or like what would you recommend me to do? And I obviously the first thing is like track your numbers, make sure that you're actually having that data. But then two, it's like, bro, this is going to be the hardest thing you do. This is the hardest place to be right now. And a lot of people want to jump when it's too early. Like
yeah,
a lot of people want to jump into the industry. It's like starting a brand new business. And a lot of people they want to spend $500 and that's all they have. And so they spend it all on leads and it's like all or nothing. And I don't think that's wise. Like, I don't think it's you don't risk everything for that, because if you have responsibilities, if you have people that are counting on your income, counting on you to do it, and you have zero skills, it's just not responsible to do it. I mean, we've talked to agents, and I think like some of the lessons that I've learned and seen from afar is like, if you aren't consistent, if you don't have any sales experience and you're just jumping from your job, have some savings built up for that. Um, and then also give yourself like time. Know that this is like, give yourself 6 to 12 months to actually be profitable. Like we want to shortcut it. We want to go faster, and you definitely can. I mean, I've seen that multiple times of people coming in and they are profitable right away, but the majority of people are not making what they're promoting out there. And so don't jump if it's not the right time. Don't feel pressure to do it, because the industry is going to be here. And so if they're preaching, hey, just go and, I don't, like, if you don't have any money, just go and write a policy on yourself and use that money. Like, it's I mean, there's value in that, but at the same time, I just know so many people that come into the industry way too early and prematurely, and they have no business in terms of being here.
yeah, yeah, man. And we were we've seen it too many times where people come in, they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna quit my job, and I have $1,000 to spend on leads, and like let's just hope this works out." Like I'm diving deep in, and it's a hope. And they even say it themselves, they're like, "Man, I hope this works out." And a lot of the time, man, it's sometimes it does, right? Sometimes you catch somebody, or somebody joins and they're an A player and they're a fast learner, and maybe they do catch traction that fast. But I'd say for 90% of people, it takes a little bit of time to catch that traction. So
Yeah.
being able to keep a job, start this out part-time, like start seeing some profit, working on a lower, lower base, um, it's super helpful, and it helps you get through that learning curve. Like you have time to learn the skills, learn what needs to be done, learn the input. And then once you're profitable and you know your numbers, quitting that job and scaling up is it's a lot less stressful for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm coming more to the realization that I do want people to jump, but there is value in getting at least some sort of like risk aversion. And
Yeah.
so like there has to be some type of risk aversion in there. And so what I've come to the realization, like I wouldn't have been in the insurance industry if I wasn't promised like at least a base pay. And I mean that's just the reality. Like I don't know if I could have jumped if I didn't have that security. Now, I think that's very few and far between that you're actually going to get that, like a guarantee on how much you're going to make. But I think it is wise to have at least no risk, downside risk. Like you're not going to lose money. You might lose time and lose opportunity, but you like I'm coming to the more belief that I think people should start off on free leads. I mean, I think people should start off like coming into the business, get your teeth cut because here's the reality. You have two learning curves that you have to go through. You have to go through the insurance learning curve, learning how to underwrite, learning how to like insurance carriers, what's going to be best for diabetic neuropathy versus COPD versus asthma versus arthritis, what's going to be best for that. But then there's another key component that if you have no skills, that you have to learn how to sell. And those are two very different skills that you have to learn to be successful as a life insurance agent. And so if you're not script like you can kind of learn both at the same time while getting a lot of training, even if you have to give up some comp. Like I think that's totally worth it because you're coming in to earn or to learn, not to earn. That's really the goal at first. And then once you have an understanding of how the whole business works, how the business models work, how you have an understanding of what it is like to buy leads consistently or understanding that concept, then I think you step into a business ownership role. Because
Yeah.
that's the reality. Like you are a business owner. And I think about this a lot. If you were a regular business, you were to start up a restaurant or something, or like a fast food place or open up a Chick-fil-A. Like I've had aspirations in the past before. If you're thinking about that, you are not expecting to be profitable right away. But here's the kicker. You're not going to be successful if you don't have more people coming in. So you have to market. You have to go out and get it, even if you don't see the ROI right away. So yeah, what's your kind of thoughts about that in terms of like short term versus long term thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you touched on that, like a free leads program, because I was just about to roll into that. The industry's kind of taking a shift too on that. There's a lot of good free lead programs out in the industry right now that are designed to help you go broker. I think the goal should always to be, end up as broker, like full independent, like owning your own business. Um, and a lot of people just aren't in that situation. So if you get into the industry and you don't have those funds, you don't have the training, you don't know how to sell,
Yep.
uh, starting out at, 50% comp, 70% comp, whatever that looks like, and getting fed free leads to be able to push through that skill it's a massive opportunity. One, because you're not incurring the financial risk off the bat, and you don't have to have the initial lead investment. All you have to have is, the money to buy states usually and licensing and pre-licensing course. And some of those free lead programs might even help pay for those, to be
Yeah.
honest. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and you're still profitable. Like you can still make money. Like let's say you're killing it on a free lead program, maybe you're making, 8 to 10K a month. It gives you a baseline. It may be more than you've ever made before, but it gives you enough cash flow to be able to stack that money in the bank and safely go broker because it's the same skill. You're just incurring the cost of marketing after you go broker or like fully independent.
Yeah. You gotta have consistent people coming in to it. And I think like one question a lot of people might ask is like, why do you even buy leads in the first place? Like why should you buy leads consistently? And it comes down to you're paying the reason why you're buying the lead is you're buying your time back because the traditional way is going out and you prospect and there's MLMs out there that are like this. You go out and you prospect people at the
Mhm.
mall, people at Target, people at Walmart, people at the store, people at church, friends, family, and you're buying that time back and you're
Yep.
being able to have people consistently come in and be able to say, "Hey, you know what? They rose their hand to get a life insurance policy. They may not buy right now and they may not be ready to actually buy as of this moment, but they had some sort of interest in mind. And so I'd rather talk with interested people in life, like that they're wanting like interested in life insurance 100% of the time more than trying to like convince somebody the value of life insurance. Like I'd rather take that shift all day. And that's why you actually buy leads. You're buying your time back because people
Yeah,
that are wealthy understand that time is money.
yeah, it is. It's trading time for money. A lot of those people, they're going out prospecting at, the grocery store or whatever. They're convincing friends and family. You may spend 10, 20 hours finding a prospect.
Yep.
And, eventually, I'm not going to say that business model doesn't work because there's a lot of successful people that do that. Um, and to be honest, it's a lot based off recruiting, but it's a whole
Yeah.
other conversation. But yeah, I would rather, if the comp structure works out that way, trade my time for money. I'm trying to buy leads, be able to work effectively. Maybe I spend 8 hours instead of 10 to 20 to
Yeah.
find one deal. And that's kind of a stretch, but man, that's a lot better than spending double the amount of time to make the same cash flow.
Yeah, because if you're working good leads, your dollar per hour is going to go up because you're not having to search and hunt for that person. You might incur no risk in terms of paying if you go out and recruit or not recruit, but sell friends and family. But you're wasting time that you could be presenting all day. And yeah, you pay for it, but like honestly, it's an investment. You're not even. It's not. There's a difference between buying like a I don't know, shoes for an example versus buying leads. Like this is your business. Like you are investing into yourself. You're investing into your business. You're investing into being able to help more people, but then also being able to help yourself and your business, and you got to keep it afloat. You got to keep feeding the business. I love the thing there's actually like there's this guy I went to a insurance conference many like a couple of years ago, and he was talking about like the CEO mindset, and you have to pay your business first. I think this is like you have to be planning ahead and make the decision in your head that any money that comes in, the first thing that's going to eat is the business. I'm not eating. I'm an employee of this business. The business has to keep going on. First thing I do is I take money from that and I pay for leads. Boom. I buy my next set of leads, or I put the money aside to be able to buy those leads. And then once you start cash flowing, then you can pay yourself, then you can pay dividends. But the business, you have to feed the business. You have to feed the thing that's going to feed you for the rest of your life. And if you don't and you starve your business, you are starving your future.
Yeah. I like to be honest, I'd like to kind of break that down. It's actually a really good topic, trading time for money, right? If you were to go out and prospect, like how many hours do you think it would take to find one prospect that actually would convert and you get paid on?
Bro, probably like 8 to 10 hours, maybe, if that, maybe 20.
So let's use like, yeah, I mean, I would probably, yeah, let's say on average, let's say 12 hours. So if like you work 40 hours a week, divided by 12, let's say you close, that's 3.3 policies a week. Let's say average commission is $800. That's $2,600 in commissions a week.
It's not bad, right? It's a 10,000 a month thing. But
You do the
I'm
same thing. You do 40 hours a week. Let's say you get one policy a day, but cost per acquisition is $150. Right? It's five policies, $800 commission, and
4,000
that
bucks minus
costed you $150 to acquire each client. That's 4,000 minus 750. So what is that? $3,200. So you increase profitability by or cash flow by almost $1,000.
Yep.
That simply by buying your time back.
Yep.
And that's bad numbers, right? That's like
Yeah.
so yeah, it's super important, man. Feed the business. Feed the business. Don't work from a place of scarcity. Work from a place of abundance. Have so many people to talk to a week, it's undeniable that you might just close a deal. You might close 2 deals, 3 deals, 5 deals that week. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
And
takes a lot of stress off of it too, man. If you're out there, you don't have any lead spend, you're out there trying to prospect at a grocery store. Everybody's looking at you funny, doing all these things. Like, man, that at least for me, it'd be easy to get in my head. It'd be easy to be stressed out, man. I don't know when
yeah.
my next coming. I don't know if any of these people are ever even going to talk to me about insurance. that can be a tough situation to get into. And I think it would be a lot easier to fail out in that field rather than having 100 people that week that requested some information on insurance that I'm able to give a call.
Yeah. And it takes cold calling out of the whole equation, right? Like you're not even
Yeah.
having to cold call these people. You're calling these people back. You're calling them back about the request that they filled out. And so that's why it's so important. It's so important to get leads consistently. You have to feed the business. Like you can't let the business starve out. You have to keep growing it and growing it and growing it. And that's how you just keep growing your income, right? And you keep
Yeah.
flipping the money. You spend $1,000 or you invest $1,000, then you invest 2,000, then you invest 3,000, and you just keep going on and on and on. And over the course, say you invest $1,000 a week, you invest $50,000 into your business. I mean, over the course of 3 years, it's 150 grand, which isn't a lot to be honest, at all, at all. I did that last year minimum, but investing 150 grand and being able to get, I mean, that could produce a lot of income and a lot of cash flow. And you just have to think about it on a long-term scale. That's why it's important to have a little bit of money saved up before you come in so that you can really like think long term instead of like this has to work now. And if it doesn't, I'm done.
Yeah.
You have like it's just good for you. It's good for your sanity. And you're not going to come off with commission breath with your clients. You're really coming off, hey, I'm going to put them in the best position possible, and really help them out. And if it's not a fit, cool. I'm done.
At
I'm on to the
first, man,
next.
you're buying your time back, and it's not even as efficient as it could be. Just for an example, I mean, we do things a little bit easy when we're self-generating leads. Maybe we can increase, quality of lead. Um, you know, cost per lead may go up a little bit when you're going for a little bit higher intent client. But let's just say you're working leads that your IMO provides. And so at first you come in, you're working aged leads. Maybe you're spending 1,000 a week. Maybe you're writing 5 policies. You do that. Maybe you scale up to $2,000 a week. Now you're writing 10 policies, but you're putting in a lot of dials.
Yeah.
But you have cash flow now to start investing in brand new leads, exclusive brand new leads. Maybe it's a direct mail, maybe it's just a higher intent Facebook leads, maybe you're asking for more information on a lead form. But you start to backtrack those numbers and bring the number of dials you have to make until you make a sale down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, dude, even in our community that are making, 30, 50, 70 dials per sale. And that's really, really good numbers. That makes it achievable to make 2, 3, 4 sales in a day, every single day. But it's because they came in, they did the hard work, they were working a little bit lower intent lead, probably, right? Maybe they did make 300 dials in a day for their first few weeks to be able to get that cash flow in and be profitable easier from a start. But guys, it gets better. Like a lot of people, they come to this industry, they're like, I have to make 300 dials a day. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard to be profitable right now. And it's not always that way.
You got to
You
choose
know,
your hard. You got to choose your hard. It's hard being broke. It's hard not paying the bills. It's not like I remember when having to pay rent and I was like, dude, I don't even know how to make that was hard. Making $300 a day is not hard. Like it's just it's simple and it's just putting your mind to it. And then once you do it, I remember so here's a good example, right? I remember my first day at Starbucks working there and I remember like my feet were hurting so bad. Like so bad after. And I was
yeah.
like, bro, I'm gonna have to stand for like 6 hours straight. Like this is nuts. And then I did it again, and then it was like a little bit better, but it still hurt. Like that first week was painful. But then it's like, dude, I'm gonna keep working. Like I gotta make money somehow. And so I kept doing that. And over like what's funny is like after 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks max, like, dude, I didn't even feel it. I could work 8 hours straight and not feel it in my feet. Like it's just I got used to it. And it's the same thing with dialing. It's gonna hurt at first. It's gonna be painful. You're gonna have a headache at first. You're like, dude, I can't even believe I sat here. My back's hurting. But then over time, your back not might not be better. It might be worse, but your tolerance for dialing, your tolerance for making what you need to do and doing those things repeatedly, that your tolerance will increase and then it'll become easier for you. It gets better over time. This industry just keeps getting better for sure.
And be grateful for the opportunity, guys. Like I love to use the analogy, like, dude, I'm not asking you to go work on a drilling rig for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, or 7 days a week, or 2 weeks on. Like, I'm not asking you to do some crazy, crazy job that's just labor intensive. Like, all I'm asking you to do is sit down and dial the phone. Like,
Yeah.
grateful for this opportunity that you can sit down in a chair, dial the phone for 8 to 12 hours a day, make 300 dials, and possibly profit 800 to $1,000 in a single day.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make that, you know, working some blue collar job. Maybe you might, like, depending on the position you're in,
Yeah.
right? But like,
I remember like I used to go business to business to business. I did that for 3.5, 4 months in a row. And I remember hearing about the opportunity of selling insurance from home. And I was like, dude, if I don't ever have to door knock a business again and I can make thousands of, like, I don't care if I have to make hundreds of thousands of dials. Like, I genuinely don't care. I'd rather
yeah,
just not do that. And so I mean, my first week, bro, I made like 1,500 to 2,000 dials. Like, I didn't care. I was just like, this is a million percent better than that.
yeah,
And I remember like getting cussed out. I remember getting hung up. I remember like I was so nervous when I got the first person ever on the phone. Like I could not like I could not stop shaking. Um, like and I
yeah.
was so nervous. And like it's funny because I look back at it and like he was a buyer. But I honestly did not. I blew the deal, to be honest. And so it's like, but when that happens, it is what it is. You just move on to the next, and you
It's
just
just
keep
being
getting
grateful, man.
better.
It's perspective. Like, I always think back, dude. Like, dude, I used to do ranch work, and I'd start at 5 and work till sundown, and be busy all day long. Working fence lines, like moving cows, like doing different stuff, like labor intensive stuff all day. And I
Yeah.
probably made like $200 a day, right? It's like, dude, I didn't make like that much money, 200, $250 a day, something along those lines. And it's like, it's trading time for money. Like, this is a different industry. This is a different suck. You know, maybe your back hurts, but like your whole body doesn't hurt when you're done with work day. Right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's a different suck. It's a mental fortitude, dialing the phone, facing rejection. Um, but at the end of the day, guys, it's not a big ask. Like, this industry, it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yep.
All we're asking you to do is just sit down, and it's for the benefit of yourself. All you gotta do is sit down and have the phone ringing all day until somebody picks up. There's only two things you got to do: the phone's ringing or you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. We're not asking you to break your back here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's just the reality of it. So make sure to buy leads, guys, consistently. If you have any questions, drop in the comments down below. If you haven't already, subscribe right now to the channel. Follow us on our other podcasts or our other YouTube channels where we go way more in depth on these different things. If you guys want to work with us, there's a little small link down below. It's in the description right under this video. If you go, your eyes will see it. Boom. It's probably the first link that you see. Click that one, or it's the second one. I don't remember. It's the first or second. But click that link to be able to apply to work with us. We also are opening up a free school community here soon. So there's a link down in the description for that as well. If you guys have any questions about this, if you guys have any questions about it, what agency to join, what kind of leads you should buy, what kind of videos and content do you guys want to see next week, drop in the comments down below right now and let us know. We're happy to help. We want to make sure that you guys are successful. We want to make sure that you guys are able to scale your business way faster than we ever did and way more profitably than we ever did. So if you guys have any other questions, let us know, but we'll see you guys in the next video.
Let's go.
Peace.